Well, have y'all ever felt at times like maybe life circumstances prevent you from doing things that you might like to do, or at times even what you know you might need to be doing, just depending on what kind of circumstances you're facing at any given time? Sometimes life can throw challenges at us to prevent us from doing the things that we kind of want to do and know that we need to do. So that happened to me. I would say that's been my case for the last 2.5, maybe 3 years in regards to my physical shape and my physical conditioning. Uh, Not that I'm in bad shape now, not that I'm in bad health or anything, but I've noticed over the past 2.5 to 3 years, just due to various circumstances, I've fallen out of the physical shape that I was just a few short years ago. And I guess it's all about in life, we just have to fight back and make our priorities and just prioritize what is truly important to us. And physical conditioning, it's important to me. Like I said, I like to hike and camp and do all these outdoor activities, so I like to stay in shape to the best of my ability. So y'all, in this video, I'd like to just share with you 3 things that I'm doing now to try to get back into shape. Now, obviously, I'm not a doctor, I'm not any kind of exercise physiologist or have any kind of exercise science degrees. I'm just a guy sharing with you what I'm doing personally to try to get myself back to the place that I know I need to be. So what am I doing? Well, number one, I'm starting with what I call the foundation of everything, and that is diet. Number one is diet, and I'm not talking about a diet like a strict regimented diet or a fad diet that people may be on for like a few days or a few weeks or even a few months, and something that's non-sustainable. I've tried those at different times in past years and they don't work. I'm sure you have too, probably tried things like that. But I'm just talking about a sustainable way of eating. What we consume is so important to our overall health. So that's the first thing I'm doing is I'm concentrating on my diet. Well, what does that look like for me? Well, simply put, for me personally, the first thing I'm doing with my diet, I would say the simplest way to explain my diet and what I consume, it's probably a very low carb diet, low sugar. Uh, Again, I'm not super strict on sticking to any one diet. Now, if you follow me any given day, one day my diet may actually be, not many days, but some days it could be totally carnivore. I don't consume any carbs. I don't consume any vegetables, just meat and eggs. Uh, but essentially, protein is king for me. What I'm doing is I'm trying to prioritize proteins in every meal that I eat. Proteins, and then I'll eat fats. And I'm trying to keep carbs and sugars very low. Although I will eat those, I try to keep them very low. I don't know, y'all, that's just what works for me. So a typical day of me eating, what that could look like is usually I'll get up and I'll have a few eggs, anywhere from 4 to 6 eggs. I may put some cut up peppers and onions, some frozen peppers and onions in the pan, and cook those things together. When that's done, I'll maybe sprinkle a little bit of cheese, real cheese, not any processed cheese, but real shredded cheese on top, a little bit of hot sauce on there, and that's my breakfast. And usually that holds me over until noontime, 4 or 5 hours. And then for lunch, I'll usually have some kind of meat, either just plain hamburger patties, or a lot of times I'll get a rotisserie and pull the meat off the bone, and I'll have a little bowl of rotisserie chicken for lunch. Usually one of those will last me, a chicken will last me about 3 or 4 days. And that holds me over until supper time. Down here in the South, we call dinner supper. So for supper, I'll come in, and some nights I won't eat any carbs, but if I'm going to have carbs or sugar, I'll have them in the evening. And some of y'all probably screaming at me for saying that, but it's what works for me. I find that maybe having some carbs later on in the evening, it kind of helps me sleep. It kind of makes me feel comfortable. It helps me sleep. So that just works for me. So I might have, well, last night I had a homemade pizza on a homemade pizza crust. Pizza crust is just made out of flour, a pinch of salt, a pinch of sugar, some olive oil, and buttermilk rolled into a dough. And I'll pop that in the toaster oven and brown it up good and crisp. And I like a real thin pizza crust, y'all. I like to have it real thin. So I rolled out about a 10-inch pizza crust and rolled it real thin. Like I said, cooked it up, and on that I'll put pork sausage, onions, jalapenos, and more cheese. And a lot of times I might eat something like that for supper, and that's a good pizza. But whatever I'm doing, I guess it's working. I've been at this for about 6 weeks, and I've lost 8 pounds already. I'm 5'8", and well, I've been at this about trying to lose some weight, actually about 6 weeks. That's part of my getting back into shape, is losing some body fat. I started out about 6 weeks ago at 183. That's about the heaviest I ever want to get. I've been as heavy, and this has been a lot of years, I've been as heavy as 197, and I've been as light as 145. But 175 now, and I'm trying to go down to 163, because for me personally, that's where I feel like I look the best and I feel the best at that weight, 163 personally. That's just my own personal number. Number 2, what I've been doing, and this is the most fun for me to talk about because I'm doing it now. I'm walking, exercise. I love to walk, and like I started out telling you guys, sometimes our circumstances prevents us from doing the things like that we want to do and really need to do. And I've always been a walker. I love to hike. I love to get out and walk a long way. I love to move my body. And I have, ever since high school, I've worked out in some kind of way ever since high school. And over the years, I've done all kinds of different exercise regimens and things. I pushed myself too hard probably when I was younger, and I thought I was, going to get buff and going to get strong, but actually what I did is didn't give myself enough recovery time. And those hard, intense workouts didn't really benefit me the way I thought they would. So now I'm getting a little older, a little wiser, and I found that, man, walking's kind of my thing. Yeah, so, walking is a real safe exercise, And if you think walking is too easy, I don't know, just get out and put your shoes on and walk. Just walk 10 miles. You know, that's a 10-15 minute drive. Just walk 10 miles and see how you feel. See if you think it's a workout. And, you know, if that's not hard enough, put some weight on your back, put a backpack on, and then walk inclines, walk hills. I like it. It's a good workout. And y'all, I'm blessed to live here in the Ozarks, and I am within walking distance of like a major hiking trail system. So I can walk out my door, and in 5 minutes I can be on miles of trails, and I get plenty of walking in that way, and I enjoy that. I think the walking has really helped me more than anything, physically and mentally, for the past, 5 or 6 weeks, like I'd said. So I'm really enjoying the walking. Third thing, and this is easier said than done, but if you can do it, I guarantee that it will not only help you get into shape if that's what you're looking to do, but it will also improve your overall health, both physically and mentally. And that is reduce your stress. And I can hear some of you through the screen right now. I mean, I probably stressed out some of you just by saying that, to tell you to reduce your stress. I get it, guys. I really do. Life can be stressful. I mean, it really can. There's traffic, there's work stress, there's family stress, relationship stress, financial stress. Life is just really stressful. But notice I didn't say get rid of all your stress. I just said reduce it if you can. Just reduce your stress if you can. I'm not sure it would be really healthy for us to get rid of all stress out of our life, because I think we need something to kind of challenge us and make us work through problems and use our brains and stuff to overcome some obstacles and challenges on our life. But excess stress, y'all, it's a killer, and it doesn't help you all. It just becomes harder and harder on you as you go into middle age and your elder years. And I've been trying to intentionally take steps to reduce my stress in life. Well, what has reducing stress looked like for me? Well, personally, I've made a pretty drastic personal decision recently. And I really won't go into it because, if you go back and watch some other videos that I've done, you can probably know what I'm talking about. But I've cut out a lot of stress in my life by making this one decision, this very difficult decision I feel like I had to make. And I've kind of used that decision as a springboard to benefit myself further and reduce stress. Another thing that I'm doing to reduce stress is drawing a blank, guys. I need to reduce some more stress so that I can think more clearly. Maybe I'm not reducing the stress down to the levels that I need yet. But no, another thing I've been doing to reduce stress is cutting screen time. I have been reducing my screen time very intentionally at times, because a lot of times if I do have time in the afternoon to sit down and take a minute, take a break off my feet or something, it's really tempting to just jump on the phone and scroll YouTube to see what's on, or maybe flip on the TV just to see if there's something interesting on. But several times now, I very intentionally told myself, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll just sit in the quiet, and I will just either look outside at nature, just look out this is not my back door, I'm out walking obviously, but I've got a nice view of the woods out my back door at home. So I'll just look at nature, just look at the sun and everything, or I'll just sit quietly and just look around the walls of my home and just let my thoughts wander, just let my thoughts flow freely. And that really helps me out. It helps me reduce stress. And another thing, I've been decluttering in my house. Not that I had a lot to get rid of anyway, but just little pieces of crap, y'all, that just stuff, dishes and stuff I haven't used in years. It really feels good to kind of clean that stuff out and make yourself a little bit lighter, that way. Somehow that reduces stress for me. But anyway, y'all, I mean, that's what I've been doing basically to try to get myself back in physical shape. The place I know that I can be for someone, going who'll be 50 at the end of the year. If you're around this age, around 50, or I don't care, whatever age you are, if you're trying to get back into shape, or you're maintaining your health, or you have a workout regimen or something that you really like to do, let me know about it. And I'd like to know what you do, or how you're feeling as a middle-aged person physically, or if I've said something that has been helpful to you. If you're trying to get back into shape or something, that's great. I mean, if you listen to what I've said and you heard me mention the 3 things that I did, and you feel like, well, I can't do all that at once, maybe if you're inspired to and want to make improvements, maybe just pick one thing, one category, either diet, exercise, or reducing your stress, and just take a baby step. Just take a baby step in toward that. And it won't hurt you. It can only help you out. Well, all right, guys. I'm going to continue on my walk this afternoon. Good talking with you. And we'll see you next time.